Rene. Rene.
It's all your fault. See, Preds fans, we can do it too. Avs win over the Nashville Predators 5-3 in Game 3 of Round 1. Usually, I'm not a big believer in the crowd advantage in most sports, but for the Avalanche, it definitely seems like it is a big one. Oh, and you thought that scoring on the first shot of the game thing was just the thing we do on the road? Wrong. Less than 2 minutes in, Barrie gets the puck at the point. He just sends it deep around the boards back behind the net, where Nieto hustles well to get to it. From there, Soderberg comes to join him roughly behind the goal line. He hits Soderberg, and Soderberg does Soderberg things by just flicking a pass through as Como is coming in from off screen on the backdoor play, and it ends up past Rene. 3 straight games with the first goal of the game, and this time it's on home ice, so having that lead is going to be a little bit different. I do still believe that trading Blake Como at the deadline was probably what was best for the Avs to get additional assets, but now that we've kept him, you really can't complain with the game he's played. He's doing exactly what we need him to do as a veteran in the playoffs. If somehow the Avs do re-sign him, not trading him looks a whole lot better, and if he can continue to play like this for the next couple of years as a veteran on this team, then he could become an important piece. It's just that contract expiring at the end of this year that concerns me. But that's a conversation for the offseason. We still got a playoff game to win. Through the first 8 minutes of this game, the Avs just completely dominated the play. They were really pushing hard, driving the puck forward, and limiting Nashville extremely well. Then about 8 minutes in, a puck bounces into the Avs zone and in front of Bernier. Arvidsson wins the race to this puck, gets his stick on it, and puts it on Bernier. Bernier makes the initial save, but then Arvidsson crashes into him and the puck crosses the line. No problem. Easy no-goal call. Clear goalie interference with Arvidsson just totally rolling into Bernier. After that, that brought up the physical factor, and the Avs weren't afraid to get a little chippy, just like Nashville had done in previous games of trying to trip people up at face-offs, little dirty plays like that. Yeah, the Avs can do that too. And the Avs continued to keep up their good play. Through the 10-minute mark, Nashville only had 6 shot attempts, and by the end of the period, they still only had 6 shots on goal. So as the period progressed, you're starting to think the Avs really need to get this next goal, as that's what they failed to do in Nashville in both games, and that's really the difference maker. If they can get over that hump, then they can easily win this game. With Nashville floundering in the middle section of the period, they don't get a shot attempt for over 5 minutes, and the Avs capitalize on this weakness from them, and they get that second goal from a very unusual source. Gabe Bourque is going to engage in a puck battle behind the net. Comfort does a good job of quickly recognizing what's happening and swooping in and helping win that battle. Once Comfort gets it, he's just going to send it up to the point to Patrick Nemeth. Nemeth, he doesn't think twice about this one. He just throws a shot on net, and you can see Bourque has come out from behind the net and won the position battle for the screen in front. He then does a great job to get his stick on this one and put it past Rene. Ah, yes, Patrick Nemeth to Gabe Bourque, the heroes we all expected to score the second goal for the Avs. But you know what? Hard work gets rewarded. That's Gabe Bourque's second goal of the playoffs, and he's been the unlikely hero so far for the Avs. Comfort does pick up an assist on that one as well, and while I would like to see a little bit more from the rookies, especially Jost, I'll take that depth scoring from anywhere. So now up 2-0, that goal definitely sparks a pushback from Nashville, but the Avs survive it, and a frustrated Nashville team ends up taking a silly penalty. Unfortunately, the weak point of the Avs game in this one was special teams. On 5-on-5, the Avs clearly looked like the stronger team, but special teams made this game closer than it had to be. On this power play, they showed no urgency that they were showing at 5-on-5 and just did very little. Even after a weak power play, though, the Avs weren't done. They got the depth scoring, they got the veteran scoring. Now it was time late in the first period for that top line to step up. And boy, did they ever, started by the captain. You want to know how to lead by example? Watch this play. McKinnon initially carries it up into the neutral zone. He gets it poked off of his stick before he can gain the blue line. Landeskog swoops in behind. He overskates it, but forces the Nashville players to overskate it as well. He then goes down to a knee to try and bring this puck over to the boards and continues to lay out to possess this puck and keep it away from both of the Nashville players. Once he controls it, he gets back up on his skates and just threads a perfect needle to McKinnon, who has circled back around to rejoin this play. That opens up McKinnon, and, well, when you open up McKinnon, bad things happen to your goalie. And that's just a microcosm of Landeskog right there. Not only does he have incredible skill to control that puck while lying down, get back up and thread a needle, but he also has the work ethic to make all of that happen. Having him at his best, particularly with Rantanen floundering a little bit in the playoffs so far, really allows MacKinnon to elevate his game, and everyone is just feeding off of that. The Avs take a penalty late that would carry over into the second, but up 3-0 into the first intermission, and you guys are on top of the world. The Avs kill off the rest of the penalty to start the second period, and then it kind of stays fairly even from there, until of course Mac remembers he has a Hart Trophy to win. Rantanen collects the puck behind the net here, comes out from the side of the net and makes a nice spin move to throw the puck towards the net. He then gets a fortunate bounce. It goes off a stick and off of Rinne, comes bouncing out past Turris, who misses the bouncing puck. Who else but MacKinnon is flying in to collect it? And look at how smart MacKinnon plays this puck here. It's still bouncing, so he just tries to control it, and he realized Turris is facing towards the far board, so he just kind of pushes it past him to his backside. That opens up a ton of space for him where he can pick a spot and then just puts a perfect shot on net. I mean, how many players in the matter of about 1 second can settle down a bouncing puck and go post to crossbar and into the net past a goalie like Pekka Rinne? So now the lead is 4-0, and as a bonus, Pekka Rinne gets pulled. Now, a lot of those goals weren't necessarily Pekka Rinne's fault, despite the chance I started the video with, but if you can rattle him, that is a big step towards actually being able to go somewhere in this series. Of course, backup Jussi Saros would come in and shut us down for the rest of this game, but score effects probably has a little something to do with that. Even with a 4-0 lead after that goal, Avs keep the play even for a bit and even draw another penalty out of Nashville, but once again, the special teams kind of stunts the Avalanche's play. They do nothing on the power play, and then shortly after, they take not one but 2 penalties on the same play to give Nashville a full 2-minute 5-on-3. And I mean, you gotta expect at least 1 goal against in that situation. So it's a 5-on-3 situation. Como has just lost a puck battle along the boards, and it would appear that something is wrong with his gear here. Not exactly sure what, but when you only have 3 defenders out there, that opens up enough space. Ellis just goes down to Forsberg, with Como not quite ready to quickly jump on the puck carrier down low. It's plenty of space for Forsberg to walk in. Siemens has to stay where he is, covering the man in front. And Forsberg walks in, puts a good shot on net, but no one can collect the rebound, even though Bernier makes the save with his pad. Comes right out to where only Johansson can get it, and it's in the back. So not ideal, but no big deal. It's 4-1, and the Avs kill off the secondary part of the power play, so they're still in control of this game. The rest of this period was mostly just Nashville being dumb. And it's not so much the dirtiness. While I don't particularly like it, I understand to a certain extent that's part of playoff hockey. It's more that Nashville was constantly frustrated, and even when they took pretty clear penalties, they decided to complain to the refs about it. They should know better than that, and it just looked like a frustrated team. If this Avs team is frustrating you in the first round, you're going to have a lot of trouble going forward for a team that's supposedly a cup favorite. The Avs get a couple more power play opportunities in the second half of the period that they really don't do anything with. And then we get to this whole Subban situation. Let me preface this by saying I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are saying it is, but we can take a look at it and go from there. Alright, Dopes didn't do a review video of this, so I guess I'll do one for them. MacKinnon has the puck along the boards here that makes him eligible to be hit on this play. Subban is coming in to make a hit. At the last second, MacKinnon does turn his back towards Subban, but that's on MacKinnon putting himself in a vulnerable situation. As Subban comes in, you're going to see him take his right arm and go and swing it towards MacKinnon. Now, the intent here, I'm assuming, I'm going to give Subban the benefit of the doubt, was to hit MacKinnon in the shoulder or grab MacKinnon in the shoulder and kind of push him down. We see players like Zadorov do this fairly often, and it's not a penalty as long as they have the puck. The problem is, Subban comes in way too high with his arm. So instead of squarely hitting MacKinnon in the shoulder, it glances off of his shoulder, and you get some forearm contact directly to MacKinnon's head. It doesn't look like it really made that much contact. There was some contact with the head, but most of it got the upper part of his shoulder and just kind of a glancing blow to the head. So more incidental contact, not targeted. Nonetheless, there still is contact with the head. From there, McKinnon falls down to the ice, getting blasted sideways by that hit, and he holds on to Subban's leg here. He does take a holding penalty. I understand where that comes from here. And then Subban, because he's Subban, just decides to give McKinnon a couple more shots as they go down, and then it gets all mixed up. To be honest, I'm okay with them not giving a suspension here. I think even in the regular season, it probably wouldn't have been a suspension, maybe at most a fine. The problem I have is the Dopes not even looking at this play at all. The extreme inconsistencies in the league, whenever someone gets hit in the head on the play, it should trigger a review by the Dopes. Even if the answer they come back is with "we reviewed it and it's okay," that would give a lot of people a lot more peace of mind than, "oh, our best player got hit in the head and no one even cared." Particularly in this series too, we've already seen Nashville with one other play with significant head contact that wasn't looked at. At a certain point, they start to build up and you have to do something about it. I mean, or you could just let them keep cheap-shotting people whenever they want, but, you know. Anyway, that's kind of my probably unpopular opinion on that particular play, but from there, the Avs take the 4-1 lead into intermission. So you're up by 3 with 20 minutes to play in the third. This should be an automatic win, and for the first half of the third, the Avs look very strong. They draw another penalty out of Nashville 2.5 minutes in. They don't really do much with it, but hey, at this point, taking 2 minutes off the clock is worth something. From there, the offense is pushing, but they just can't seem to solve Saros. Getting that 5th goal would have undoubtedly sealed the game. They had a number of chances up and down the lineup, but just couldn't get it done. And it is the Avs after all, so they have to make it a little bit interesting. After failing to capitalize on their own opportunities, they give one to Nashville, and they make it 4-2. So you're going to see Ellis make a pass up into the neutral zone to Josi here. You can see Andrighetto heading off. The Avs are kind of in a partial change. As soon as Josi gets the puck, you can see Warsofsky. I'm not sure exactly if he was just coming off the bench or what here, but he steps up way too high, and you can see Nieto is already beat by Josi, and at the same time, Soderberg is getting beat by Sissons on the near side. So that's 3 Avs players getting beat by 2 Nashville players. That leaves Siemens alone to defend Josi, and with Sissons beating Soderberg on the near side, Josi just passes across and it's a tap in. A little barf city and discombobulation for the Avs on a change there. That's one area where they do seem to have struggled quite a bit at Nashville, and it looks like it's carried over to here in Colorado. They just need to clean up those changes a bit. So now a 2-goal game with over 12 minutes to play. It's a little bit worrisome, but, you know, playoff hockey, you gotta earn it. So after that goal, the Avs really go into a full turtle, and I know I rag on this turtle a lot, and I understand that when a team is behind, especially by multiple goals, they're going to be controlling and pushing play. So I'm not asking the Avs to keep up with pressure that hard. All I'm looking for is for the Avs to counterattack and take advantage of the reckless pinching type plays that the other team is taking. The Avs don't do that at all for the rest of this game. They pretty much are just looking to get rid of the puck as fast as possible when they get it, or dump it out and try and change, which they struggle to even do that because they're constantly icing the puck. As time wore on, it got ridiculous. I think there was one point where they seriously iced the puck 6 times in a single minute. It got pretty ridiculous, took any flow out of the game, and really slowed down the third period. But Bernier showed up when we needed him after not having too much work in the first and really only a little bit of work in the second half of the second. He was there in the third. Eventually it gets down to goalie pull time. The Avs get possession of the puck and Landeskog skates it out with McKinnon on a 2-on-1 to the neutral zone. McKinnon with 2 goals at this point. You knew Landy was looking to get him the puck for the hat trick, but he gets tripped up as he's going around towards the net, and the refs call it a goal on the empty net on the penalty. So not a McKinnon hat trick, but still it's the goal that seals the game for the Avs. Nashville would score a nothing goal shortly after that because Austin Watson has to score in every game, but nobody cares about that. The Avs win their first playoff game of this season and their first playoff game in nearly 4 years. This was a fantastic, fantastic game, especially from the Avs forwards getting scoring up and down the lineup, and McKinnon and Landeskog really carrying this team from the top when they needed it. When they're playing like this, they showed that they can beat any team at 5-on-5. At least for 50 minutes of this game, the Avs were clearly the better 5-on-5 team. That last 10 minutes we already talked about got a little dicey, but it was enough to get the win. There's still some little things to adjust, but more importantly, you need to get better at capitalizing on your special teams. Nashville's D is going to tighten up. Don't expect Pecorino to let 4 by him yet again in this series. It's just not likely with a goalie as good as him. As the series goes on, those power play opportunities are going to get more and more important and could end up being the difference. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I'm Rudo3, and it's good to see the Pepsi Center rocking again.